Hello guys and welcome to another deck profile on this channel, on the Team Honest channel. And today I got a pure Sprite, or more or less pure Sprite, deck list top 16 German regional post-Majestic Mavens deck profile for you guys. This might be a good indicator for Dortmund if you plan to go there. First of all, shoutouts on my team, Team Honest. If you want to meet the trading shop, we have an Instagram page and the shop in Germany. And yeah, thanks for my team for helping me deck build, theorize, and just genuinely prepare for the Shizu format. I think this deck performed very well. I got 15th place, so top 16, which is good for, just like the first event blinding into Ishizu tier. And yeah, so let's just start getting into it. I'll explain as we go with some of the ratios, but some of the easiest are obviously 3 copies of Sprite Blue. This is obviously the best starter you have. Then you also have the 3 Jet, simple, and then the 1 Red and the 1 Carrot, as well as the 1 Pixies. So you do need Pixies a lot in this deck because you want to try an OTK, especially with the side deck cards. And I'm pretty happy with it. It performed very well. Carrot and Orange, obviously, mandatory for negating stuff, and especially good under Shifter. And Jet and Blue, obviously being your starter cards. So that's for the Sprite monsters. And then for the spell traps, I played 3 Sprite starter and 1 Smasher. So I did miss the trap in the main deck, and I do like the trap. I might put it back in again, but I'll explain as we go. But obviously these 4 are all mandatory. You have to have a Mystic Minotaur or just a general removal, and starter gets you into your place. So, pretty standard. Then for the water engine, we do play 3 copies of Swap Frog because you want to draw this card in your opening hand. It's probably one of the best normal summons right after this guy, Nimble Beaver. Nimble Beaver is genuinely your best normal summon, but I would say that you can obviously make some better plays sometimes with just hard drawing the Swap Frog. And then we have the 2 Nimble Anglers. Now, I would say if you plan on playing 3 Reaver, you should always be on 2 Angler. You could, play this small package, but it's just way too bricky and way too inconsistent with all the Ishizus. And, you don't really care if they mill your Anglers, but like if they mill a Beaver, then your stuff has a lot less value, and sometimes it just means you can't combo. So yeah. Then for consistency, we play 3 copies of Power of Prosperity. This card's obviously here for consistency, and also oftentimes you can side it out for more impactful cards. So yeah. Then for my hand traps, I decided to go all out on the Bestials. So 3 Magnamid, 3 Durisworm, card's important, as well as 3 copies of Serenir. So this card is kind of the heart and soul of the deck. So these 9 cards are super good because they're good against Sprite because they're big beaters. They're good against any Bestial matchup because you can just banish the Bestial targets. So good against Dragons, good against Espia, and against tier limits. If you draw 2 of them, they have quite a big struggle building a board because you want to stop the fusions. You don't really care about the Ishizus, so yeah. And then for other hand traps, I did play 3 Ash. So if I would have went all out to prepare for Ishizu, then this should have been Skull or Bell, like Skullmeister or Bell. But I did decide I wanted to have something that's good into every matchup, because I'm not only going to play against tier elements, obviously. And this card came in clutch. It's really good. Also, like if you play against tier, it can stop mill 5s, it can stop Sharon, and that is obviously really important. So Ash is always like, for me right now, it's a mandatory hand trap. Obviously, it depends on you if you want to play it, but I think this card's amazing. And then truly mandatory card, 3 Infinite Permanents. Good going second, good going first, everywhere. This is nice. It can counteract a bit with the Bestials, but the outsides of Imperm are just too big to pass up on. And then for the last card in my deck, I played 1 Change of Heart. This should have probably been the trap, because this is like a Seki one-off. You can't really search, you can't do anything with it. It's a good card for sure, but I think it's worse than a searchable mind control, basically. And the monster stays, so it's really nice. So yeah, that's my main deck. 40 cards, clean. Want to keep it clean. And then for the extra deck, I played 3 copies of Sprite Elf. and 1 copy of Sprint, as well as 1 Dark Charmer for the link package. So that's all my links. Obviously, you need 3L for the grind, you need Sprint for the combo, and it's a good interruption. And then Dark is just here for the mirror match or to summon out opponents' Bestials. For the Xyz, we have the 3 mandatory ones, Gantix, as well as Totally Awesome. These are all pretty crazy. Then I decided to play the Mannequin package in the side deck. So I had to play this. 1 Onibimaru. This didn't came up at all today. So I might see if I maybe cut this for like a Dagastu Phoenix or if I find something better. But Onibimaru is nice, outing some stuff and, you know, just outing something and then just having there like with a Sprint. This is like basically 2 interruptions. So yeah, I would keep it in. I'm a big fan of this card, but we'll see. And then 1 Sky Cav as well as Downerd and Zeus. This is just a standard package played. And then for the Bestials, we did play, or I did play 1 Beatrice. Beatrice is very important because this 2 Bestials basically get you into full combo because it can send Angler summon 2 Beavers, and then you go from there. And then I did play 1 Wallow as interruption. This card was insane, just being able to set your opponent's triple tactic talents or summon your opponent's Magnamut searching in the end phase, or just being able to stop your opponent from fusion summoning or putting stuff back into the deck to pop stuff. It's been nice. I do like it. So I do think that a lot of these are mandatory. I wouldn't cut any of these because they all performed really well. They all came up except for Onibimaru. So yeah, I guess you could cut Onibimaru, but it's just such a good card. It's very good. Very situational, but very good. And then for my side deck, this is the only thing I'm not quite as happy with, but I'll explain why. So first of all, we do have the Mannequin Cat targets, Thunder King Ryo, and End of Anubis. These are pretty good because this basically says win against tier elements and dragons, and this says win against Sprite. This is also pretty good because against any light strategy, this is very nice because like you can just summon this against Exosister, and then they're like, okay, they can't add, you can negate the summon of their fusions, so this is really good. And Anubis obviously mostly good against all the dark strategies out there. Yeah, you know. Then 1 Red Resonator. And for the other cards, I did play 3 Dimension Shifter. So this card was really good. It performed very well, but I think it was a bit overkill because I didn't quite have trouble with tier elements, especially looking at my main deck. And I think this should have definitely been Fenrir's. But Shifter performed well. If you open Shifter plus like a Bestial, you can mostly just OTK or get your opponent to use so many resources through Shifter that you know, it won't matter. And then like oftentimes they just end on Baguska Pass if they're on tier elements, which means they have to use their normal, they have to use their Sharon effect and all of that just to get to a Baguska Pass. And then like, okay, cool, you just wipe that, have like 1 to 2 interruptions, and then like a few Bestials maybe in hand, and then you just, you know, good luck, bro. You're not winning at this point. So I did say every time I dropped Shifter, it was a really good going second card. And then Dark Ruler no more. This is important for the mirror match and for Flunder, which I did say, I would say is quite nice. I do like this card a lot. Might bump this up to 3, might give it a 2, might cut it completely. It's weird. It's all over the place because basically it's just copies 4, 5, and 6 of Imperm, but it's just good against combo. So yeah, I don't know how this card goes. It performed really well. So yeah, maybe it might become 3, might become 2. We'll see. But this card definitely performed super well. Then 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. This is kind of an MVP. Because a lot of people are playing Floodgates right now, or just like anything to stop you, or stop tier. So Cosmic is very nice, deals with that, and also it's just good against Flunder, good against Bestial. Really good card. Like just having like a Cosmic against a Dragon Link, sometimes you can, you know, just this like deals with 2 interruptions: Druid's Worm Send and Beast Pop, or yeah. And then for the last card in the side deck, or second to last card, I played 3 Evenly Matched. This card is pretty decent. I do like it. It didn't come up at all because this wasn't here for meta. This was more here for like back row Eldritch kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, if I would have seen it, this would have been really good. I said it in against Flunder once or twice, but it just, didn't come up. I didn't draw it, but definitely a good card. So that's that. And for the last card in the side deck, I did have the double cross. Like I said, I would probably main deck this because every time I sided it out, or every time I didn't have it in game 1, I missed this card a lot. So just having this in the main deck as a searchable target is probably worth the risk of having it in hand, because it's just a good card, genuinely. So yeah, and that's the entire deck. I would say this is a really good indicator of what you can go off if you plan to go to the next YCS or to any regional, or if you just want to test this deck out. It's really good against tier, especially the main deck is very, very prepared for tier and Sprite. And then, you might just play a little bit more of a board breaky kind of style in the side deck other than Shifter. But yeah, that's the deck list. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Shoutouts to my team. Good night.